can hear it. I can see them. They're right there.
Oh, I see. I see. I see Ace. He's like way in the right.
Oh, this is perfect. If you want, sure, why not?
Berry Street.
Oh, we really did do shut off the navigation on that thing.
I did.
Somebody's got to tighten them up.
You need to tighten up.
Tighten up, stop. They're far away. No wire engage. Pause it. Tighten it up!
He's policing.
But since they don't have a security protocol, this is whoever.
This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
It's college for you.
Yeah, arts and
Is she the end of the line?
Yes.
Are they coming? Are they coming or what?
Alright.
That's fucked up.
Alright.
This group ain't about that black traffic.
Well, I can't be sitting in fucking
I know,
traffic
just go,
either.
just go.
Alright. I don't know where you want to go from here. Somebody did start a slow down, tighten up chant. That's cute.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, boys and girls, friends and lovers, children of all ages. You're watching live from Fort Collins as we chase these kids down. They do not have a security protocol. They're not blocked up, so we're going to try to catch them and hold them up. Let's see what we can do here. Well, that's the wrong button.
Alright. He said we're not about that block traffic life.
Part of me that wants to just run out real quick. So I will. Hold it down.
Hold it. Eyes on. Yeah. Oh.
Like fireworks or something?
I don't know. No, car. Yes.
Is there a... oh, shit. We don't have the gimbal. It's in the back, so it's all right.
Get out of here. Put your face away.
I'm on the Walmart instead.
Oh, they are talking.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Not hate. Not hate. Not hate. Not hate. Not hate. We got a live one!
That's crazy. You just got 3 chants.
Can't just leave? Yes. Police is no longer behind us.
Alright.
Kids these days.
Oh, I guess this is where we're parking.
There we go. to have a cigarette. Oh no.
Because who doesn't want food trays? Snacks for the protesters, right? That's what these are for.
Oh, nice. Got some stuffs.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'm a nice guy. All the time. Keep the boxes of food in there, like granola bars. I think I want the popcorn.
Oh.
Two of them. Yeah.
Glad you guys meet.
Yeah, just spur of the moment, right? Take what you want.
You gotta throw these away.
Okay. Do it
I
as
feel
you
like I
gotta
should
do.
leave these just because it feels like it's very, very, very white around here.
Yeah, we don't need all our gear, right?
Yeah, that's how I was like, oh, I should that. What's that?
Oh, there goes the damn fucking thing again.
Got it there?
Yeah, we're doing
Looking for black backpack with gimbal. Okay, rock and roll. Whoa! Thanks. Sick. Let's go see what these kids are protesting. Okay. This is the old town square, but I feel like they are not stopping to protest. Did they just move through? Are they gone already? What the hell? I hear them. There they are.
But during my whole lifetime, I've also experienced racism, and this is something we need to talk about, whether we like to talk about it or not. Okay, this is going on in our own town. Protesting start at a very young age. For me, it started in preschool. I went pretty much preschool. I was friends with these two girls, and we're supposed to hold hands.
Yeah.
And they go, we don't want to hold hands with you because you're brown. I know. What the fuck? We're at preschool. Oh my god. And it just keeps going, getting worse from there. Okay, second grade group project. And this boy in my group project goes, you know what? You're gonna do all the work because you're a Mexican. And that's what Mexicans say do, is they do all the work. Well, actually, I've never tell me, "You're just from Mexico. Go back to your home. This is my home. This is my home." And even in fourth grade, I was asked if I could say the N-word for some people, which is just shocking to me. And even asked if I could give them the N-word pass. Not even a real thing, so don't ask for it. It's not happening. And I just think all these experiences have really impacted me to where I am today. And you can tell I didn't forget these things. And these things have followed me wherever I go. And this is just a couple handfuls of stories of things I've experienced before. From when I was little, I was obviously seen as different and less than in other kids' eyes, which is awful. No preschooler should ever have to experience that and should ever have to go through life in fear of racism. And the thing is that people are growing up in like racist households and growing up in schools where it's only about like colonizers like we know. No Hispanics are represented in history. And I couldn't honestly tell you anything. I don't know anything about it. It's really disappointing to me. But these kids are making the future, and that future is racist. There will be more racists out here. And I've experienced adults being racist to me, actually. So just back in June, I think it was, I was holding up this Eric sign outside of my car window as we were like stopping at stoplights to get out the message that Black Lives Matter. And this woman pulled up in her car next to me and she goes, "Oh, lives matter!" And I was looking at her, I'm like, and so we started going back and forth at this like light and stopping, and I'm like, I know all lives matter, but you know, these black people have been oppressed for hundreds of years, and they need their voices to be heard. And she said, "Well, you're Hispanic. Why do you care? Why are you putting black people in front of your own life and in front of your own culture?" And I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? And this is just one of many experiences. Another one being holding up this sign, a man drives by and yells, "Black Lives Matter!" And I was like, dude, this is in Fort College, for God's sake, okay? There's people that are denying racism. This is going on in our own community. It's honestly very hurtful. So, something about this is that these people were growing up with these hateful ideas, these hateful messages about racism in their own household, okay? So that's why we need to stop it, and we need to stop it while we're young. We need to tell kids to be anti-racist. We need to, make them actively anti-racist, or else you're gonna grow up becoming like these people. And something I'd like to add on to my things like the statement, "All lives matter," "White lives matter," "Blue lives matter." These aren't about the statements. These are just about silencing people of color. They're about silencing black voices. They don't care about. If they care about all lives, what did they say? Black lives matter. Because they're just disturbed by the word black, I guess. And it's so frustrating. These people want to silence us. They don't want to hear my voice. They don't care about what I have to say. But I will not be silenced. I'm going to. If our voices didn't have power, then they wouldn't try to silence us. But now they are. So I'd like to end this with a little quote from Mr. Harry Styles. "Treat people with kindness. And we all do that, it'll be a much better world." Thank you so much. All right, the movie is not better, dude. That's my preface for my experiences. First of all, my sister did not just experience racism, she experienced trauma. She came to me with a list of everywhere she was when she experienced every single act of racism she had. This is trauma. This is trauma. This is something you'll never forget when you go through it. We are enforcing ignorance in our curriculum in Peter School District. We are. We are learning and spending time and time again on white men in our culture, in American history. I spent an entire why we learn about it. We also spend an immense amount of time on acts, amendments, and laws. And if we can spend time on these bills and laws, then we can definitely spend time on people who legitimately changed the United States of America. I was in AP US history, and I learned about Andrew Jackson for like 4 months of my life, but I never learned about Harriet Tubman. I never learned about Frederick Douglass. I didn't learn about Jesse Jackson, John Lewis, Cesar Chavez. These are the trailblazers we are ignoring in our curriculum. These are the people who we need to talk about. As the speakers have said, I have spent my quarantine re-educating myself. I learned about the Tulsa Massacre from the internet. I was never taught that by any of my history teachers. I learned about John Lewis after he died, which is unfortunate, but we need to talk about these people before we lose their voice. I didn't know about Jesse Jackson. We don't even talk about women in our curriculum. And honestly, I expect a white man from the 1800s to be doing things. I know he could do stuff in age. Believe me, that is expectation. But we don't talk about the people that defy the odds, the people that are important and crucial to where we are now. This ignorance is not just present in our curriculum, it follows students in their day-to-day lives. When I was a freshman in high school, I saw a picture of a white kid in my grade holding a gun up to the camera and saying the N-word as a caption. It was really disturbing. We talked about it with some of my friends. We decided to report it. The kid got in trouble, got suspended, and then for some reason, I experienced it. I was an outcast because I told on someone. And this is in high school. I was seen as the bad guy because I went against the grain and did what I thought was right. I reported this image and suddenly people are glaring at me. People are confronting me. I probably made some enemies from reporting this. This is the culture we have in the majority white district. We don't want to talk about these things. We don't. I'm in the halls hearing the N-word every single day. If someone here had something stolen from them or had lost something, they're talking to a teacher, they're talking to an administrator, they're trying to find what they have lost. But the minute someone says a year that has 400, or a word that has 400 years of history and racism and segregation, no one is doing anything. No one. And that is the truth. And as students here, if you are a student in Hoosier School District, you need to call out this bullshit because it is happening every day and you know it is. So if I want anyone here to take away 2 things from my speech, it is this. We have ignorance in our curriculum. We are teaching people a specific curriculum and we are ignoring incredibly important things in our history. And 2, we gotta stand up. We as students, as community members, have to call it out for it is because it's happening. And it happens every day. You hear it, and we have great administrators, we have great teachers, we have a great school board, but it is time as a community that we do something because teachers can't accept responsibility for students' actions. It's only us students that can come forward and do this. And you know it is happening, and you need to step forward. So finish your high school career knowing that you called out stuff that is completely against the right side of history.
Please give another round of applause, please. Next up, we have a man met 20 minutes ago, and he seems like a pretty cool dude. So I trust him. Please take away anything valuable from what he says. So please give him a warm welcome, guys.
Can everybody hear me? Can y'all hear me loud enough? All right, so first off, My name's Julius. Now, I've been leading protests and rallies in Denver. Maybe you see me in the pictures. Maybe you see me with Mayor Hancock. Maybe you see me at sometimes posting on Trump's political campaign and taking down for copyright issues. Maybe you see me posting with Dak Prescott for what's going on. Yes, that's Dallas Cowboys quarterback. But it's not about the publicity of it. The importance is, first off, racism exists. Now, as an alumni at Colorado State University, I've seen it firsthand. Now a resident of Colorado, I'm originally from Florida, so I've seen it from everywhere. As a man who served 8 years in the military as a cop, I've seen it there. So it's nothing new to me. As you come out here, we have to understand that we are recreating history. We are rewriting it. When the next time your children's children open their textbooks, they will see you in there as we are rewriting change. Now, let's understand this is not a black versus white issue. It's an us versus them. Now you ask yourselves, who is them? Them is the racist people that perpetuate the racist injustices or the inequalities that we see. They are the ones that perpetuate the systematic oppressions that we see within our jails, within our government, within our school systems. They are the people who perpetuate in their own friend groups when it's funny for them to make racist jokes. And if you don't realize that, you're no better than the 3 men that sat there and were a bystander and watched George Floyd die. Now, there's so many parts to a protest. There's no right way to do it. We're all out here to support a cause. But what I feel is wrong is when we don't take the time to not only educate ourselves on our own stance, but other people's as well. Because then it becomes a screaming match. Then you make facial recognition with that person you see on a daily, whether they're holding up a Trump 2020 sign or they're saying all lives matter. I've been in situations in Windsor, if I paint this picture correctly for you, where one side of the street, they scream all lives matter. We have people who are in the 3% group. If you don't know what that is, do your education. We have people that are saying all lives matter. We have people that are saying Trump 2020. Now, understand, if someone supports Trump, it does not make them a racist. Point blank period. That is their preference. You believe what you want to, but I'm going to speak the facts and I'm going to call it like it is. If someone supports Trump, that does not make them racist. The same way if you are white, we're not going to say you are racist. But what I will say is, you are also a victim of being a bystander, of being silent, and allowing things to perpetuate. As you know, you've seen it. You've heard it. As kids, like she said, growing up, seeing others on the playground that didn't look like you, you were a bystander when you passed judgment and made assumptions and went to somebody else and gave them your own experience without collecting the experience or the knowledge from that person. We have to do a better job by not getting screaming matches. If we're going to fight for something, at least listen to somebody else. Give them a chance to speak on something so then you can for sure call them on their bullshit. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the same reason why we're here, is because we're walking around saying that our voices are not heard, but yet we are doing the same thing to other people because they are not walking with you, marching with you, or because they don't wear Black Lives Matter attire. Mind you, again, you don't wear Black Lives Matter attire does not mean you don't support Black lives. If you don't kneel, does not mean you don't support Black lives. Does that make sense? Does everybody agree with me so far? So when I am hosting protests, my protests, obviously we want to spread love and hate, but I can't tell you how to feel. The same way when people get upset with people looting, I'm not for it, but I can't tell you not to do it. Because people are frustrated, people are upset. I can go over and say, hey, there's a better way. And they're gonna respond, well, you tell me what it is. Because history is repeating itself, and as the 28th of August comes up as the anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech, where Martin Luther King basically told you what was coming, I love to say, I enjoy 2020. While you say you hate 2020, I enjoy it. Because 2020 is the year that you sobered up. 2020 is the year that everything you tried to bypass and said did not exist, it slapped you in the face. I am bringing on COVID-19 because it's only made those friendships that you had, that you called your best friends, that were true acquaintances. I've seen so many people cancel people on the social media platforms because they now know who they're dealing with. How did you not know this before? COVID helped you to sit down, to recollect, to actually have those comfortable, uncomfortable conversations. We have to get comfortable having those uncomfortable conversations. So to my Black people, I know I see some here, we are also a problem of why this exists. Because I know everyone is guilty of something that played a part in it. My Black people, when somebody has come up and asked you, why can you use the N-word and we can't? Be honest, what is your response? For most, they take it negatively and they respond negatively with attitude or aggression, the same way Trump tried to call us thugs. We have to be understanding that we are educators in this as well. We cannot turn the cheek when somebody feels comfortable enough to come and ask you, well, why is this? It may seem like an ignorant question, but they felt comfortable enough to come to you to ask you. And you did what they had other people envision happen. You did that right to them. So we have to educate ourselves and understand what part we play in this. People that are considered allies, white people. First off, I appreciate y'all being here. This crowd is way too small for an incident or a situation of a matter that's been going on for years. And as people walk by feeling comfortably, they are also bystanders, and they also do not truly want to acknowledge what is happening here. Can we agree to that? Now, as I'd like to say, strength is within numbers. When you go out there, your job is not to take 2-3 hours to sit there and educate somebody on why you are here. That's not your job. If they wanted to be here, they'd be here. I don't need you redirecting energy or straying off of that path to stay on a direct route by having someone else stop you. To say, hey, why are you here? What are you here for? We can have that conversation another day. And if they really want to know why, they will reach out in a different environment. Does that make sense? Yeah. Do you understand that? So as people of change, you have to understand your role in this. It is bigger than just right now. This is not about the clout. This isn't for social media so you can get your TikTok followers up. There's people that will portray it as however they want. Just as each person individually has their own experience and they will portray this as they want. For you, I need you to be here physically and mentally as well. If you're going home and your phone is dead, you're here for the wrong reasons. You are not focused. Every protest I've gone to besides one, which was held by another organizer that I did not agree with, but I want to give them a chance to show me something different, I've not had my phone out. There's no way to do so with tens of thousands of people in Denver asking questions and expecting you to lead them in the direction of safety into somewhere. Also understand, marches and protests are just one part of it. If you don't go home trying to educate yourself, whether it's through other people, whether it's through Google, whether it's through showing up to council, whether it's seeing what your elected officials are putting in place and whatnot, you're doing yourself a discredit to what you stand for and what you are moving for. We have to do our work. Stop doing the hearsay. For most of y'all, how many we have students out here? How many of y'all have turned in papers without citing your sources? I didn't think so. So when you have that hearsay, you are doing nothing but plagiarizing the same way you guys were going to school, or y'all, sorry, not you guys, y'all have been going to school for years. So we have the resources. Utilize them. Let's start getting into screaming matches about personal experiences. And while I expect the personal experiences of the stories that were shared, when I leave all that behind. Because me bringing a personal experience is saying I. It's about we and uniting. So once again, that's no disrespect to you. I understand that Fort Collins is going to end a little bit different, but I got something coming real soon. The 28th, look out for that. I don't come here addressing my personal experience. It is for me to address where do we go next. We can march all day, but as we've seen, we've made a complete circle and we're still fighting the same thing that Dr. King and Malcolm X and all of them stood for. So now it's what do we do to change the outcome? What can we do personally? It starts within your own household. You control what you can. It starts within your own community. You realize and you look for the things that are being affected, the people that are being affected for these same things that you say are happening in your own community. It's great to call out those names of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, which might I add, the number of days since her murderers have been arrested is now over the amount of days it takes for a police officer to be certified to handle a gun and put on a badge, which is 120 days, and we're at 140 plus counting. But we won't speak on that. We need to realize and recognize the names that are here in Colorado. That's what matters. Those stories of people that you have seen something happen to or experienced yourself, that's what we want to know. Not what you can recite 8 minutes and 40 some seconds of the body cam of George Floyd, not what you can recite from Google. I want to know, just as the cops here, I want to know, just as the people that perpetuate it, whether in the government or at our court, they want to know what's happening here. Because then you're wasting both your time. We can recite poems all day. People can recite rap lyrics all day or country music. But I want to know how you take the next step by taking the initiative to find out what's going on in your own community. That's what the focus is. Who knows when the next council meeting is? Who knows some of the bills or laws that are working to be passed right now? Only so many hands go up. Who knows who George Floyd is and what happened every second of the way? Because you chose to direct your attention to that. People within your own community are upset because you have looked past their children, their families that have been a victim of this, and you scream George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. And that's not to take anything away from them. I'm not saying they're not important, but I'm also saying, if you are saying your life is just as important, your community should be a priority as well. Breonna Taylor and her people got that. We can still bring awareness on our social media platforms, but we don't need to do that here. What we need to do is fix what's happening here in Fort Collins, Colorado. We need to make and bridge that gap. And if you are talking about abolishing the police, then we have to look damn sure functional while we're out here holding a protest or a rally. And at times, we look dysfunctional. So we can't expect somebody else to be perfect. But what I ask for, and what I feel is necessary, is for our police to get out of their cars and to do more foot patrol. To have more encounters and actions with the people. What I ask for is more psychological testing so they can have an understanding, maybe hooking them up to a virtual system and flashing trigger words to see how they respond. Give them more information for people that come from outside the communities and they are representatives as police force within your community. We need to think about certain things as how we are to move forward, not marching every day. Because I know many people, they take all this time, they spend more time and energy to create the same signs than they do when they're yelling and marching down the streets. Because half of y'all put those signs behind a closed door or in a closet, and you don't pull it out until the next time you're going to use it. This movement is not just for now. This is a lifetime commitment. Point blank, period. If you're not in it for the long run, then go home. Because you're not doing yourself a service or the people you say you're fighting for a service at all. And if you feel guilty about that, and if you feel some type of way, then I probably struck a chord. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm passionate about what I believe and what I stand for, what we should stand for, why we are here. Do we agree with that? Or is everybody following so far? Are we good? You don't have to clap if you don't want to. Let's not go around no point just because other people clap. Don't feel forced to clap. That's what brought us here. Just because people turn one cheek, you decide to do so too. We still have so much work to do because look at the numbers in this crowd. Look how many people decide to show up to an event that was publicized for weeks. This should be motivation alone as to how much more we need to do. Does that make sense? Are we understanding that? So as you leave from here, continue to educate yourselves. Don't walk and leave from this area not knowing someone new. Because if you're promoting and wanting equality, you should want to be able to share those experiences and to understand people by a story they give. Now, I understand you will never understand what it's like to be black, what it's like to be born as a black man with 2 strikes. And no, I don't mean by 2 strikes because I've been in jail. I mean because of the color of my skin. You will never understand those conversations that black families have to have with their children about how to interact when being pulled over by a police officer. Or you will never understand the oppression that holds up in your classrooms or in the buses when black people are moved to the back, knowing dang well that the higher grade percentage or those that have A's and B's sit in the first 2 rows of their class. These are the reasons why we are fighting. And I'm not saying none of y'all or anyone that's not black hasn't experienced racism. I'm not saying that at all. Understand what is the push and what are we here for right now. Everything has a time and place. So the minute you start saying, well, I, you're already lost. If you're saying all, a word of absolute, that word is canceled. When you start saying I. If you're walking around and you're hearing instead of listening, there is a difference. You're thinking I. So let's make sure we're listening to everyone. Let's make sure that we're getting to know new people so that we can really, truly spread love and not hate. Let's leave here knowing someone we did not know before that's not in your immediate group or your friend group. Let's leave here wanting to bring more people to the next protest and rally. Even if they don't stand for and believe, if they are people and they are for all and they are wanting to promote equality, then they should be willing to listen, point blank period. Because I personally don't feel, and it's not me being biased, but because of the rallies and protests I've attended, which is many, from Aurora to Windsor to Greeley to Loveland, Fort Collins, people said, hey, you know what, you're actually out here speaking facts, and I appreciate that. So let's understand that. Let's celebrate life, because a lot of us, tomorrow is not promised, and if something is being said, please let's continue to reiterate that, educate ourselves, and push that to other people. Are we good with that? So far, are we good with that? So I know that was a lot to say. I know you may have not gotten all of that, but I don't want to be shortened, just as you don't want to be silenced on something that is so important to me that I also feel is important to you all. So hopefully I didn't drown or lose any of y'all, because I know how it is when you sit in a classroom and you have a boring teacher and you're like, shut up, just give me the test so I can read. I know what that's like. I know what it feels like. So hopefully I kept you entertained, because you should be, because this is something that we're all passionate about and we all support. So I appreciate you. I thank y'all for coming out here. Don't just come out here for now. Please come out here every single day, even if it's educating your own small group, even if it's educating people people on social media. Let's get out of that social media bashing, because anybody can say anything from behind the screen. It's what you're doing, it's the action. Does that make sense? And lastly, my women, I feel you, because every protest and march, I'm always promoting and saying, I feel women are silenced. I feel people of the LGBT community are silenced, and I'm also pushing that as well. I don't feel like I'm incompetent or pushing those things at the same time. So behind every great woman, I see myself as a great man. I have flipped that, and I strongly believe that, because women see things that we don't. Because otherwise they wouldn't take y'all asses back after you messed up once, two, 3 times, and they call you out on your BS before it happened. So respect our women, know they have something to say as well. And respect our youth, know they see things that we don't. That's all I got to say. I appreciate y'all.
All right, please give another round of applause for Julius. Can y'all hear me? Okay. So, I really want to thank everybody for coming out today. Like, it really does mean a lot, whether it's 1,000 people, 100 people, 10 people. It's still an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to listen, an opportunity to help yourself grow. And so, since the planning of this rally about a month ago, I was really contemplating, what the hell did I want to speak about? Do I promote a good message to everybody? Do I try to be inspirational? Do I start reciting quotes from Martin Luther King Jr. and try to inspire everybody? I could have done that. I could have played it safe. I'm deciding not to. When there was racist posts surfacing social media about, people saying the N-word with the hard R, or saying something against Mexicans, saying they need to go back to their country, I was pretty pissed off. I was angry. But I'm only 18 years old, still living with my parents in the basement. I don't pay rent. I'm a privileged little Hispanic kid, and I felt like I do nothing. I feel like my voice was going to be silenced because I felt like I really didn't deal with the hardships as other people do. So I wanted to share with you all a story. It's a personal experience, but it'll give you a glimpse as to why I'm here today. It really, truly is a big reason why I'm here today. Because it wasn't just the racist social media post that I saw on Instagram and I reposted it, got clout. But I didn't feel like I was being honest with myself. So a few years back, I was at Chili's with my family. We're having a nice dinner. We're hanging out. And as we finished eating, and as I felt like I needed to go to the bathroom, I got up. I started walking towards the bathroom. And as I looked up, I saw a woman with the hijab. It's something that Islamic women wear for their religion. I forgot what it symbolizes, so that's as much as I'll say about that. But as I noticed her walking towards the bathroom as I was walking, I froze. And just like all of you right now, I stood there, just staring. I was scared. My heart sunk. What the hell was my reasoning for that? Why was I scared to go into the bathroom where it's right next to the women's bathroom where I saw that woman going to? I was scared. My heart dropped. It genuinely dropped. Why? For a while, I was contemplating why. Why? It's because racism is ingrained in me. Discrimination was ingrained in me. I take full responsibility for that. Because I decided to go along with the joke, to listen to the media, and to not be careful about what I say to others. I was ignorant, bigot, hypocrite, pretender. Why? Again, why? I was scared that Chile was gonna blow up. That's my honest, that's what went on in a matter of seconds when I was going to the bathroom, that I was maybe gonna lose my life. And that when I froze, I decided to turn around and walk back to my family, sit down, enjoy my dinner, and ignore the fact that I just judged the woman with the hijab and contemplated going to the damn bathroom because I thought I was gonna lose my damn life. It's fucked up. But I didn't decide to sit down. I decided to stand up. Because if I was gonna stand up for other people, I have to stand up against myself first. I had to figure out how to get rid of my racist thoughts, my discriminatory thoughts. Because for as long as I can remember, I probably used every single racial slur there is in the book. At the end where people will call me out on it, I tell them to fuck off. Let me say what I want to say. Of course, freedom of speech, America, gotta love it. It's hard to control culture. This isn't a political issue, it's a cultural issue. It's something that's coursing through our community that we really need to figure out. There might not just be one solution, maybe not even two. But as a community, we do have to come together to figure out this issue. And I go back to my experience. After a few minutes passed, as the waitress came by, gave us our check. I looked at it, handed it to my dad because I'm not paying for that. But I realized nothing was gonna happen. Absolutely nothing. That woman was not gonna be a danger to my life. But why did I think she was? The way media, the way people, the way jokes portray certain religions, cultures, ethnicities, genders, sexual orientations, I listen to all that. I listen to the ignorance. And I take full responsibility for that. So as much as I want to promote love, acceptance, and peace, I have to make sure I'm able to accept myself first. I have to make sure I'm at peace with myself first. I have to make sure I love myself first. If I don't love myself, how can I love another? If I can't be at peace with myself, how can I be at peace with somebody else? If I don't accept myself for who I am, how can I accept somebody else for being different than me? So it starts with us, our mind. Figuring out what imperfections we can correct. Having that uncomfortable conversation, not necessarily with somebody else, but with ourselves. Because as I had that conversation with myself, I realized I was part of the problem. I realized that I was allowing others to think it was okay to use the word beaner, to use the word stick, to use the word wetback, because I was playing along with it. I thought it was funny. But no. I was degrading my own people. I was degrading my parents who came here as immigrants because I was allowing others to use those words. So what I'm trying to do now is to speak up for others and allow for others to speak up for themselves, to encourage that. Because we live in an environment where if we speak up, other people will think, what the hell are you doing? Why are you standing up for what's right? That's the culture that I've experienced. When I speak up, when I say something, there's always somebody there to combat it. There's always somebody there that wants to force their opinion on me. So what I'm trying to fix about myself is the fact that I never listen to the right people. I always listen to the wrong people. It's difficult to listen to the good. It's so easy to be persuaded by the evil. But it goes back to me hearing these racial slurs, hearing these jokes, hearing the media talk bad about the people. I've decided to listen to that rather than the people who have good morals and values, know what the hell they're talking about. That's why I stopped listening to the media. So again, it starts with us. It starts here. One by one, we help another. One by one, our community can be a role model for others. As our communities come together, our state, Colorado, can become a role model for others. Whether this is a small group, it's incredible how one person can create change. It's incredible how the youth has been speaking up, but we can't stop. Thank you. One last thing. Hydrate. It's hot. Abdul is right there recording. We're putting together a documentary where we've interviewed multiple people about their experiences. And he's been documenting this whole rally. Okay, we're going to try to push out the PSD to make sure it's more inclusive. So I want you guys to know that I'm going to keep trying. But you have to question yourselves. Are you going to keep speaking up? Or are you going to keep trying? Are you going to sit on your ass, lay back, and do nothing? Thank you.
Everybody, thank you so much for everybody for coming. I don't know, what do I say now? Hey, you guys are free to go. Thank you so much. Let's continue the conversation. Keep talking. Keep informing yourselves. Educate yourselves. Learn about other people's perspectives. Talk. Talk to people. Thank you. We have food and water right there, and somebody back there. Did you want to say something about something in Denver?
There's another rally going on here.
Yeah.
8 o'clock going to. I
Who
want
was
to
it?
encourage everybody to come.
Hey y'all, just what he said. So there's a pro-police rally at the Fort Collins Police Department. It's going to be happening at 3 p.m. So if y'all have time, please show up there to counter protest because your voices matter, not just here, but there as well. Because we need to show people that we don't care just here, that we're not going to let them get away with their protesting and funding the people who are murdering Black people. We need to come out and show out in full support. So please go if you can make it. 3 p.m. Turbo Wine and Drink. Counter protest.
Tell your friends. Like there's a dozen of us that drove up from Denver to be in support of you all, right? So it only happens if it's your town and you show up in numbers. Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks, you heard it. We'll be back at 3. Talk to you soon.